shall call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. Can please show that Ben Shear is the only one not here. And Kurt had texted he has been under the weather the last 2 days, so he will not be here either. So next, approval of the consent agenda that was in your packets.
We'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Any corrections or omissions? If there are none, I'll bring it to a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Public comments? Do you have anything to bring to the board?
She's on the agenda.
Not on your agendas, we added something, committee reports. We did just have a finance committee, so we added that to the agenda. And we're also gonna add in item 623, the approval of hiring of Sydney Van Z, elementary social worker. So those two additions, I apologize, I forgot to mention. Anyway, finance committee.
I can do that. We talked about it's on the agenda tonight, the school board loan fund resolution, and that's basically to borrow money to pay the bond payments. It's borrowing just a small portion of the money that we have to pay to make the bond payments that are coming up for taxes. It's something we kind of do every year, but it's a small amount. We did ask to get at the next meeting a little more of a summary on sort of how that gets repaid and how that ties back into the other bonds. So there might be more on that to come. And then Paul went over another thing that's on here, which is the theater curtain and the bids. There was only one bid that came in, but he went through why we need a new curtain and why this is a better curtain than what we have, and went through the bid. So we are going to recommend that we approve that. And otherwise, we went through the normal stuff, accounts payable, credit card, and a little bit of a bond project update.
Okay. Thank you, Will. Any other committee reports that we didn't know about? Okay. We'll move on to new business. First and foremost, item 619, approval of the Europe trip.
Who's doing, I mean, I see the company, but what class or what?
Rachel Metcott is here, and she can kind of talk a little bit about it and the thoughts behind it. If you want to kind of share a little bit.
Yeah, it is something that I've done in the past, both at Muskegon Catholic and at Montague. And I had talked with Madame about the differences in the type of trip that she offers versus this one. So this one isn't as language intensive, it's more about just seeing the world and seeing some great educational places. I think that it really broadens the perspective of students, and so that's why I brought it forward.
And what students is it open to, like any?
I opened it for freshmen to seniors for this school year, the coming school year, because it's next summer.
Okay.
But it can be anybody.
It really can. Okay. And there adults, like if a parent wants to go with their child as well, that's also an option.
Can an alum go? With their parents?
You can.
Do you have a champion on staff that you're working with, or just Madame mostly?
Yeah, I just had talked to Madame about it. That's what I spoke with.
Rachel is on staff.
Yeah. I do teach math.
She's
right?
she's our basic geometry, discrete math. Yeah.
I'm newer. That's okay.
Thank you.
That's why I thought I better show up here and show my face.
Okay.
She's also one of our middle school volleyball coach.
Nice.
Do you have an estimate of the cost?
Yeah, it's around $5,000 per student.
Do you have any fundraising?
Yes, we've talked to Culver's and, Fazoli's about doing the community fun nights. And the students have asked to sell candy bars, the favorite fundraiser of all. And
World's
we've
finest.
talked about a few other options, but that's all that we've done so far, and I haven't looked at the calendar or put anything on it.
I would recommend, Madame obviously does quite the trip. I just came back from that. And, but also talking to Angela Corbin and Beth Slumko, because they do every year. It's not international, but they use like a third party and.
Yeah, this is the company that Madame used last year when she just did the 9 or 10 day trip.
Okay.
Thank you, though. I do appreciate that.
How many are you sort of hoping to get? Do you have a target?
Well, I already have students signed up at this point. There are, I think, 20 total people. Some students, a few adults, some students from Montague as well.
Nice.
Do you have a limit?
No. There's a point, they really try to encourage you to get to 25, just because then you have it will just be your group. But I think they go up to like 45 before it changes.
Okay. Any further questions? If none, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the Europe trip as presented.
Support.
Okay, motion seconded, no further questions. Put to a vote. All those in favor of this trip to Europe, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Okay, motion passes. All right, approval of return to learn continuity of services plan. For many of you, I think you know we've done this for the last few years. It was born out of COVID. And I'm kind of surprised we still have to do it, but maybe this will be the last year.
This one and one more and we're done.
Okay,
This meeting in September 23rd and we're done.
I'm not a huge expert on it, but did anybody have any questions about it? But it is a mandatory thing for the state, I believe, state requirement, so we will need to approve it just like we have the last 3 years, so, or 2 years for sure.
I'll move that we approve the return to learn continuity of services plan as presented.
Support.
Motion and second, and any further questions or discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next is the approval of the school bond loan fund resolution. All of you have that in your packet, and this will need to be a roll call vote. And then Carolyn, you might need to, or maybe Lisa. Lisa, you'll need to sign afterward.
I move that we approve the school bond loan fund resolution as presented.
Support.
Okay, motion and seconded. Any further questions or commentary? Jess stuck around just so she could answer any questions.
Mark also said he'd be happy to hop on speakerphone if you want to ask him anything.
That's okay.
Do you have any fun facts about the resolution?
Do not fun anyway.
There are no fun facts.
Just the facts.
It's it's not that big. That's kind of a fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
I've seen bigger, much bigger.
Who requires us to do this?
Well, our cash flow essentially, because the tax revenues won't cover our required bond payments this coming year.
Okay.
So,
How much longer do we have to do this?
till the next bond falls off,
Okay.
Or taxes go up.
or taxes go up.
But that's why
Full value.
it goes up and that kind of thing. And so that's why we talked at finance about trying to get a little bit more of a summary of how that's gonna work out from Jess and Mark, at the next meeting.
There's a TED schedule that Mark has, but I don't have it.
Right. So we'll get some more information on that. But this is something that we've done. This is the new.
As your property taxes go up, that number should go down.
That's all.
That is not
But
a
it's
fun.
not done happening.
That is not a fun fact.
Fun at all.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please.
I think you have to roll call.
Oh, yeah, roll call vote. I'll start with Lisa.
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, the approval of theater curtain RFP, and before I take a motion, since we have Paul here, Paul did have a nice update and some fun facts on this, which, I thought maybe he could give you, and, we can get a little background before you vote on it.
So the old curtains were from the 2004 bond, and they were being torn, they've been repaired, and they weren't fully properly maintained with fire repellent or retardant on them. So the felt was falling apart, becoming see-through. So it was just time to update the fabric itself. And so then with this plan, we went ahead and tried to eliminate some of the problems that we see on our stage, like the main curtain is hard to pull it open because it goes around a corner, and we'll never be able to fix that without redesigning the stage curtain. So we're gonna put a motor on it that we can just control with an on-off, so we don't have to have students go back there and try and hold this tiny little rope anymore. And we're gonna add a couple rigging pipes so that the music department can properly hang more safely props and decor above the students. So just open up all that stuff, and then this company will actually do the full install of everything, including hanging all the fabrics. So, and lastly, we're gonna go away from felt to more of a synthetic. It'll feel the same, it'll look the same, but we don't have to do the same upkeep in manual stuff to pay for later. So should last longer. So.
And this is also the same company that's currently doing the lighting in there. They had already won the bid on the lighting, and they're actually here
right now
installing it.
Yes.
So,
Does this count as sinking fund money, or what is this?
This is bond, unless Mark's moving dollars around differently, but this is our building
November bond,
Yeah, okay.
part of the big one.
That one, yeah, okay.
You say that the curtain is motorized. Is it possible to do it manually if it breaks? Like if the motor
Yes, you can disconnect the things, but it's going from a cable that's about the size of my pinky to a even smaller one.
Okay.
So it will not be easy, but yes, you can disconnect the gears and still pull it manually. But
You don't want to.
we don't want to, and most of the time we have trouble getting kids to do it anyways. So I think this will make it easier in the future moving forward.
If there are no further questions, I'd entertain a motion to approve the theater curtain RFP as presented.
We're doing it, I guess, we're doing it for the 60, right? We're not doing any of the deduct?
Correct,
Just
we're
to
doing the full
confirm.
60. That extra 4,000 was the extra rigging pipes for the music department.
That's right, just to clarify, we're doing that for the 60.
Correct.
Okay, that's right. Sorry.
Oh, nope.
I move that we approve the theater curtain RFP as presented.
Support.
Okay, motion and seconded. Any further questions? If none, I'll bring it to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And if anyone's opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, item 71524-623, approval of hiring of Sydney Van Zee, elementary social worker. John, we're hoping maybe you have a little background.
Yeah, so she actually was mentored by Lisa Cobb here for the last year and a half, and has her school social worker license, although there's a little bit she has to keep doing to get it kind of finalized. She worked at Reese Puffer for a little bit after she graduated in the spring and got some good experience with elementary kids there. And yeah, it's in addition to Teresa, and she'll be able to do a lot more stuff with kids that don't have at least a school identified disability. So more gen ed kids, social emotional learning curriculum, piloting, helping with behavior with the little guys, because you might have heard already that our DK and K kids that we had this past year, behaviorally, were just a lot more challenging. So she's going to be able to help support them and all the rest of the kids, and indirectly then me and Ashley and all the other staff to help kids just get what they need for social, emotional learning, behavior stuff, etc. And yeah, it was actually really tough to find a highly qualified school social worker. School psychs are almost unfindable, almost. School social workers are starting to enter that same realm. So we're really fortunate to get someone who's good, knows our school, knows our staff already, and whew,
Excellent.
that was
Okay.
14 minutes, maybe.
Okay, so if I could get a motion to approve the hiring of Sydney Van Zee.
I move to approve the hiring of Sydney Van Zee.
Support.
Okay, motion and seconded. Any further questions? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Board comments. Lisa.
Okay. I'm very excited to welcome, not that she's here, but Cindy Van Zee, because that's such a huge need, and I think that's just really great. So thank you, John and everybody for your work in recruiting and hiring her. I'd also like to say the elementary is looking kind of nice. The new carpet, it looks very good, and the paint looks very fresh. I think they seem to be working hard, and it's exciting for the school year.
I would echo that. Also welcome our new staff member. Thank you, Ms. Netcutt, for what you're doing for these kids. It's going to be great. One of my kids is going on exchange in 2 weeks, so he's going to be wandering around town sobbing, that's why. So I completely understand where you're coming from, where it's just great for kids to go and travel and do all the things. So thank you for arranging that for kids.
I would echo all of that. I don't really have anything to add, but I'm really excited about the trip. I think that's great. I'm really sad that Bo's already graduated. It was COVID, he missed his language trip, so yeah.
I don't really have anything further to add. Welcome to our new hire, and thank you very much for spearheading another opportunity for the kids to learn new and different things.
Yeah, I don't know about you, it's nice to, thank you for coming. It's always nice to, don't know if we've met before, but thanks for coming. And it's really kind of amazing the trips that are offered to our students. There was none of that back when I was in school. So these are phenomenal opportunities, so very excited. That's it.
This isn't to be in the minutes. I hope you guys are really hungry because I've got a big spread at home waiting for you to get there. And you're more than welcome to come too. We had a couple people bow out for various reasons. I hope they feel better. Yeah. please come in.
Okay, meeting adjourned.